to our second episode of our first season of Think Bout It, Talk Bout It under the Wildcat Connect project at St. John's College. I am your host, Adelaide Sabito, and on set today we have a representative from St. John's College University and St. John's College High School to talk a little bit about St. John Berchman Day, which is our, St. John's Berchman is our patron saint, and there is a full day of service that the entire college participates in. And so the high school, the junior college, and the university has done that. So you'd like to introduce yourselves?
My name is Mark Ramrock. I'm a third form student and I major in computer science.
All right.
Hi, my name is Tahira Hill. I'm a student ambassador at St. John's College University.
All right. So it has been a very interesting week. I know, Tahira, you're just finished with exams all week. And then you had your service day yesterday, right? I'm correct? No, day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? So you had your service day on Tuesday. And the junior college had their service day with university on Friday last week. So people, in Belize City, I'm pretty sure saw SJC students throughout the city engaged in service. And last week, Friday, it was also World Children's Day. And so a lot of the service projects that the students embarked on was done in celebration as well of Children's Day. So a lot of the primary schools, we were able to smile and see their faces and participate in fun activities with the kids. And then you guys on Tuesday over at the high school also visited a lot of the primary schools and had some similar interactions with the children there as well. All right, so let's start off first because we have been in the institution for a couple of years, 3 years, and we personally know a lot about St. John Berchman and who he really was. But I'm going to ask the youngest member because I think I'm the eldest on the show today. But there is one thing I can remember from St. John's College is St. John Berchman was a very, very young individual who wanted to be a priest. And I think he joined at 17 years old, that was his mission, that was his goal. But the support that he had was not what, he would have preferred. He wanted to be a priest, and his father and family were trying their very best to dissuade him from joining the Society of Jesus back in that time. And still, he persevered and he joined the Society of Jesus even after his father cut off all financial support from him. And he strictly believed that his life was to serve God and was to be of service to others. And, that takes on a little bit of the values and the teachings that we have at SJC to be servant leaders, men and women for others. But I want to ask the youngest member on set today, the youngest Wildcat today, what do you know about St. John Berchman?
Well, I know a lot about him. For example, what you said earlier, and other facts like how he was, despite the fact that he died in 1621, he was canonized in 1888, which might seem like a long period of time, but it just shows how the Jesuit community and the Catholic community are looking at all these people, even from back then.
Absolutely. And he said he was canonized in 1888, you said, and St. John's College was founded in 1887. So it brings some reflection to really look and consider he is our patron saint. We are St. John's College. And so our name probably was picked at the time when his canonization was getting in order. So it's a beautiful reflection of one of the Jesuits in history that we are able to have present today in our daily conversations, in our daily activities that we do on campus and off campus as we try to continue to have the Jesuit legacy. But when it comes to service, that is one of the most important values here at SJC that we try to give off to our students, that when they leave SJC, I'm a graduate. When I moved on to pursue higher education, when I went into the workforce, service was something that was at the forefront in and still is the forefront of my career. And it's crucial that our students today learn that, and not just learn it, but have it be a part of their soul, a part of their being, and a part of their heart in everything that they do. There is one quote that has lived with me since my time at SJC to now that I absolutely love, and it comes from St. John's Berchman. When you do something, you do it extraordinarily well. I think that is in your student handbook over at the high school. When we do things extraordinarily well. And on service day, that was uplifted. It was evident in what our students went out to do. So both of you went out. I went out and I followed a couple groups outside the campus, and there were some service projects happening on campus as well. But I want to talk a little bit of what happened off campus. And you both have your own experiences. You said this is the first kind of big project that you all embarked on this year. What did you guys do over at the high school?
Well, the first thing that we had to do was plan out what we wanted to do. So we all got together as a class, and we sit down and we brainstormed and we planned together. And it was a great team building experience. So we planned, and the day that the event happened, we were able to execute our plan. We went to Grace Primary, lower school, and we were able to clean up the entire school. We helped them with their gardening. And when we were done, we decided to stay back and help the teachers teach the kids and help them with the small stuff around the school. Because when we think about it, it's like how St. John's Berchman, he devoted his life to God. It's like we saw all this and we said, let's do something good then. We don't need to do the bare minimum. We could try to help everybody here. And so I believe it's a great experience, a great learning experience to show what hard work can get you in life and how hard work can affect the people around you and how it can change your life for the better.
And you want to share a little bit about your experience before I ask you?
Yeah, similar to his experience, it was a great time to see how kids interact in their own environments because we're in a separate environment from them. So being able to interact with them during their day-to-day activities and to, teach them, because they have a lot of questions that they asked us about, how is the university life or how is work life, and being able to have those conversations with them just made you feel like you're doing something right. So that was a good learning experience for us.
All right. Earlier I asked, you're at the university, yes, but has this been, maybe not just at SJC, but has this been the first, service project that was probably planned at a very large scale?
Yes, for me, yes. Usually different service stuff that I do is just on my own. It's nothing big or nothing that is documented, but this has been actually the first experience that I've had to do service with other people and actually impacting a large group of people. So that was a good way to see how that it's actually planned and how it's actually set out when other people are involved.
Okay. What would you do differently? I know you all had your own experiences. Probably you did gardening, you guys interact with the kids, you did some cleaning. What did you specifically do at Grace Primary?
Specifically me, I helped all the teachers. So I helped them organize the class, I helped them in the teaching process. And it's a great learning experience to me, teaching me patience and showing me how hard teaching is. Because while I was trying to help these kids, I was starting to get flustered because I didn't understand how to show them what I was trying to teach them. But throughout the day, the teachers showed me how to deal with them, and it helped teach me patience.
All right. So it's evident then that through service is also a learning experience, right?
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you were you were helping the teachers and you were teaching and learning how to teach. And so, do you think that the activities that you engaged in that day helps you to be a better person, helps you to do things differently in your day-to-day routine?
It did, because besides building patience, it showed me to tackle problems from different perspectives. Because I learned when trying to teach the kids, you can't just teach them in one way. Everybody learns in different ways. And so I had to adapt the way I was explaining these things to each kid. So I had to tailor the way I was explaining it to everybody. And by doing that, it helped me the entire process go a lot smoother.
Okay.
So the entire experience taught me adaptability.
Right? And for you?
Yeah, well, our experience was a bit different. We were trying to cater to take them away from the strict books and work. So we completely took away their
was World
attention.
Children's
Yes.
Day as well.
And
so
yes,
I don't
they were
think
having
on World
fun too.
Children's Day any student should be doing any type of graded activities. But yeah, so what were some of? But still, they're different grades that you all were dealing with, different classes. And so, what were some of the challenges that you had that day? Right?
To be honest, we had no challenge. It was just a fun day. They were already, like you said, World Children's Day. When we told them that we're taking them away from their teachers, they were so excited. But we wanted to cater having fun, but also teaching them. So as a psychology major, me and my other classmates, we had the idea of making stress balls with them. So we taught them how to, make a cheap stress ball, and it was super fun. And then after that, we played games, we had conversations. So each department catered to, something. So maybe criminology, they taught conflict resolution. We taught stress management. The business taught them maybe how to save or stuff like that. So while teaching them, you're still having fun with them. But for my department or my class, we didn't have any issues. It was just a fun day.
So you wouldn't do anything different for the next opportunity if you were to go back?
Maybe plan several activities, because some of them were already tired of the stress ball and they were like, what do we do next? And we were like, so we had to think about something on the spot. So I would probably plan more activities, because we tend to forget that kids sometimes want to do more things. Yes.
So how has this, for both of you, it's kind of like you said, your first big project. How can this project, or how does this service day inspire you for the next adventure? For the next adventure, what would you like to do next? Obviously, it was enjoyable. I know maybe you got a little flustered in the classroom. Teachers do on a daily basis sometimes. But how are you inspired to get involved in future service opportunities?
When I was there, because we went to St. Joseph Primary School, and we had Standard 4. But being in the classroom with them just inspired me to pursue maybe teaching. I've always wanted to be a teacher, but had different ideas after a while. But being with them and being in the classroom inspired me to, take up a job after I finish with my degree in maybe teaching or something that is hands-on with children.
Okay. So after your service day project, did you and your classmates have to come back to school, and was there a follow-up to discuss how it went, or to do an Ignatian examine, a reflection of what the experience was like?
So after our service day, we got on our buses and we went back to the school. And so in our class, we all got together, we got in a circle, and we all sat down. We reflected on our experiences throughout the day. We asked other people in our class, we asked them what was it like to them. They asked us what it was like. And we just sat down, we learned from each other. We listen to each other's experiences and we learn from what they dealt with that day.
Okay. Do you see yourself, really through the experience you had on Tuesday? Do you think that it is something that is appreciated by the mass among the students at SJC? Do you think that service is one of the events or activities that students look forward to?
After Tuesday, after reflection, everybody seemed ecstatic about it. And so I had multiple classmates saying that they enjoyed it and that they'd want to do it again the other year. So I believe that's something that everybody will look forward to next year.
And I want to ask you a little bit about the spiritual side of it. We get up every day, we come to school, there's the business and routine that we're set in. But how does prayer and reflection kind of tie into your experience with service as well as your day-to-day activities, your day-to-day routine?
Well, prayer and reflection might be considered a simple thing. It's a very important part of your life because it helps tie you closer to God. And without God, I find it hard to walk through life properly. God basically guides me. He shows me the way. And so, because I feel like prayer and reflection is very important. Because without that, you can't. It's hard to be closer to God.
All right. So do you really believe the walk, I should say, that it's important to follow the walk that St. John Berchman did? That something that you will continue to hold heart?
Definitely. His entire story is inspiring because from a very young age, he was very spiritual. He was very close with God. And so he let that inspire his life. And look where that has him now. He's been canonized. He's a saint, Saint John's Berchman now. And so that shows the importance of God in your life. So his entire life story, that's very inspiring. And so, especially since we're St. John's College, I believe that that should be our main inspiration. That's what we should base our life off of and try to live our life by.
All right. And Tahira, how has your reflection and your experience kind of, I know it was a hectic week for you with exams, but I'm pretty sure it was a good way as well to kind of forget the busyness of the semester, the end of semester projects and presentations and tests, to kind of just let loose a little bit and to kind of just immerse yourself with and leading out our core values, finding God in all things, love in action. Our day of service was very big on love in action. We went out on a day specifically to deal with children on Friday, the sixth form, the junior college and the university. How would you say that prayer is a part of all of that?
So I think it's important to be able to incorporate prayer. For me, prayer is God is such a powerful element in my life. He's the top priority. So being able to incorporate prayer and reflection, especially during service day or St. John Berchman Day, it helps you to ask God or center yourself to, am I doing the right thing? Am I going down the right path? Am I acting in a way that God will see fit? So I think incorporating that prayer and reflection is such an important part to make sure that you're on the right path.
So it's sometimes very difficult for us to take a step back. In our busy schedules, we have routines, we have daily routines when we really look at it. And one of the things that St. John Berchman teaches us and St. Ignatius teaches us is to do our daily examine, take the time to reflect, take the time to settle down our thoughts, take the time to really look around in our surroundings and kind of appreciate, the beauty in everything around us, right? Sometimes, we sit on our porch or we sit on the stairs and we see the raccoons or we see a bird or cats, ripping up garbage, and we tend to often get upset and get angry instead of sometimes finding the beauty in nature, appreciating, the noises or the sounds that the animals make, and kind of say, wow, everything is beautiful around us. And when we set and put ourselves in that mindset, it is then that I think we are able to really understand what's happening, appreciate what's happening, count our blessings, and be thankful for what we have, and see where we can help others, right? And that's one lesson that we learn from both these Jesuits, and that incorporates prayer, it incorporates reflection, and it incorporates retreating sometimes, and stepping back from our schedules and say, okay, I need time, I need to retreat, and I need to reset. Earlier, you were talking to me about retreat and how important that is for your high school experience, and molding and developing your faith, and that is essentially your foundation to go out and be a man for others, right? So tell us a little bit about that and its importance to you.
The retreat was another learning experience, because it was like it helped us to relax from the pressure of preparing for exams and preparing for our tests at the time. But it also helped us connect with God, because like what you said with nature, when we went on our retreat, we disconnected from technology, and we were basically at a church, but it was just us, the church, and nature. And it helped us see the beauty in everything, like what you said. And at the retreat, we had a plethora of activities that helped us grow closer as a class. And it helped show us the importance of God in our lives. So the retreat was a very enjoyable experience, and one that I think will stick with me forever, because it was like very transformative for me,
Okay. Right. So we have come. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your reflections and sharing your experiences from St. John Berchman Day, our service day that we do every year in November at St. John's College. This is our last segment, our last episode for 2024 of season 1. When we come back in 2025, we will be having some guests on for episode 3. But until then, thank you for tuning in and watching. Thank you for Mr. Ramrat for coming on set today. Thank you, Miss Hill, for being here and continuing the good works for our Jesuit education, our Jesuit institution here in Belize. So from our Wildcat family to yours, we want to wish everyone a safe and bright and joyful Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. And once again, thank you for tuning in to Think Bout It, Talk Bout It, and we'll see you in 2025.